before. But before we get into today's video, make sure to comment down below who you guys want to see next, because you guys recommended this over and over and over again, and I definitely want to make videos just for you guys. Also, comment down below how long you've had your dreadlocks. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, because it's always good to watch these videos for dreadlock inspiration, because let's face it, if you have dreadlocks or if you plan on getting them, it's always good to have an inspiration to keep going and keep looking forward to. Now let's get into the video. I really like this recreated photo of J. Cole, if you guys remember that. But looking at his dreadlocks, you see so many different things. Obviously you see the skinny dreadlocks, you see the congos, you see the wicks, and as time progresses they turn more into wicks, although they are completely freeform. And what I mean by turning in completely to wicks is that the congos themselves are turning into wicks, and this is the progression of freeform dreadlocks. The hair starts out as single strands of hair, those hairs combine with hairs next to it, and that just keeps compounding as they lock up together, creating a dreadlock. Once those dreadlocks are created, then those dreadlocks eventually combine together, creating what is called a congo, which means two or more dreadlocks combined into one. Obviously with the single dreadlocks still at the tip, but as time progresses, those single dreadlocks at the tip will all combine, which then creates a wick, which is essentially just a very thick dreadlock, which I would consider a wick to be 5 or more single dreadlocks combined into one, all the way from the root all the way down to the tip. So hopefully that explains not only wicks and not only congos, but also kind of the dreadlock process. Because that's really what happens, is it's just single strands of hair locking up together and creating a section. One thing I really like about J. Cole's dreadlocks is they resemble Bob Marley's dreadlocks, but at the same time they're very unique as well. And that's one thing you get out of freeform dreadlocks. Depending on the hair type and the hair texture and how thick the hair is how much it will resemble someone else's hair. But at the same time, if you have freeform dreadlocks that are completely freeform, I mean just washing the hair and allowing it to form on its own and lock up by itself, not doing any maintenance whatsoever, they're going to be 100% unique to you. But I do want to talk a little bit about that as far as the hair texture while freeforming. Looking at J. Cole's dreadlocks, although he is freeforming, there are quite a few dreadlocks that are almost the exact same depth, or in other words, they're all the exact same size. And I don't mean length, but the width of them. And that just goes to show that with his hair texture and his hair type, and with him freeforming, this is what his hair naturally will lock up to look like. That's the natural thickness. Now of course he could possibly be doing a little bit of separation, but even with a little bit of separation, your dreadlocks won't turn out exactly the same size. But this just goes to show that with his hair type, with him freeforming, he gets about a 2-inch section of dreadlock each. And that's just how his hair will naturally form. And I believe as the hair progressively gets to a looser curl pattern, thicker sections are necessary in order for it to actually lock up. Now let me explain a little bit more about that. If you have a straight hair type, you need a thicker section in order to create a dreadlock comfortably. And if you have more of a tighter curl pattern, and I'm talking about maintenance dreadlocks. So if you were to choose, twisting with gel or crochet hooking, which is instant locking, or 2-strand twist, or any other method for the matter. If you have more of a tighter curl pattern, say it's a 4C, then you can create with a smaller section, because essentially you have more hair to play with, considering the hair is curly. But when the hair is straight, you have to recreate the curls, which is mostly effective by using the Great Locks crochet hook. And I consider you guys to get one. It's the best dreadlock tool out there. But just to make it a little bit more clear to you, if you have a 1 type hair which is completely straight, you would most likely want to use an 1 inch to 2 inches section. But if you have a 4C hair, you can get as low as a 1/4 inch section, anywhere to 1 inch or even higher. But that just goes to show what sectioning the hair looks like for the different hair types. So in this photo, you're able to see the actual resemblance between the dreadlock sizes. Now, of course, you see that there's thick dreadlocks and there's skinny dreadlocks, but isn't it interesting that all the skinny dreadlocks are about the same size and all the thick dreadlocks are about the same size? And I'll be completely honest with you, I believe the skinny dreadlocks are his natural sections. And over time, those sections will turn into those thick dreadlocks. And if you guys remember, during the beginning stages of J. Cole's lock journey, we were able to see those sections actually there. And you guys remember that they were actually that skinny. And as time progresses, those dreadlocks turn into congos, and now we see those dreadlocks as wicks, but overall he does have freeform dreadlocks. And with his dreadlocks being this long and him having them in for this period of time, leads me to believe that he is doing some sort of separation. And the reason being is because his dreadlocks stopped combining. Because if you guys remember Bob Marley, he had almost the exact same style of dreadlocks as J. Cole. Even when his dreadlocks were short, they were about the same style. And they resembled each other very similarly. And I can even say the same thing about The Weeknd. But the thing about The Weeknd and Bob Marley, as time progressed, their dreadlocks continued to combine even though his dreadlocks were really long. So like I said, J. Cole could be doing a little bit of separation here and there, which is completely fine. You really want to create your dreadlocks the way that you want them to be. If you want completely freeform and that's the standard you want to keep, that's completely fine. But if you want to do freeform with separation, that's completely fine as well. And honestly, if you're in dreadlocks just for the style and the look of them, then honestly, do whatever you would like. Just know that there's people out there that will kind of hate on you or frown upon you if you claim to be freeform, but you're still doing maintenance. I, on the other hand, I'm not one of those people that are going to judge you based on whatever you're doing with your hair, because let's face it, it's just hair. But it is a representation of yourself, so it's always good to look at it that way. But you guys, that is J. Cole's dreadlocks. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video. What do you guys think about his dreadlocks? I personally like them because they're very thick. But at the same time, there are those skinny ones out there as well, and I'm just a person that really likes the diversity of dreadlocks. I like seeing thick dreadlocks and skinny dreadlocks on the same head. So you guys comment down below. And also, don't forget to comment down below who you guys want to see next. And also remember, comment down below how long you've had your dreadlocks in, or if you plan on getting them, what method